early? Yeah, I think I should. Welcome back, guys. How's it going? Captain Foley here with you to talk about a new show, a new series, Strange New Worlds. Don't worry. We'll still talk about Picard tomorrow night. Tomorrow night is the Picard live first reaction and Hangout. And we're going to be doing our live review of Picard on Monday. But tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we're going to be doing this one. And I think it's safe to say that Star Trek is back. I think that's fairly safe to say. So let's just get right into it. See what you guys are thinking. I want to hear your thoughts. I know I'm early, but it's Captain's prerogative. So let's see. Oops. See, so I had a super chat earlier. Mark Lawrence with $5. Thank you so much, Mark. I'm happy they learned how to wrap up a story in a single episode. Hopefully, throughout the series, the ship gets a refit to look more in line with TOS. Yes, that would be nice, obviously. That being said, I really did like the sets. I enjoyed absolutely everything about this. Everything about this was fantastic. And there was one moment when they got the facial stuff done and they were beaming down. I had a moment of, oh my God, this is how people in the 60s must have felt seeing this for the first time, because it blew me away. I was super stoked about it, and they wrapped up a whole story in one episode instead of making it a whole goddamn season. It was awesome. And there's a lot to like here. We got a Saladin class ship, or a single nacelled ship, not a destroyer, because there's only 3 people on board, so I assume it's a very small ship. And judging by the way that the strut looks, attaching that nacelle, I think it's fairly safe to say that's a pretty small ship. So, yeah, this renewed my love for Star Trek. It really did. I think they really hit it out of the park with this. Hopefully it keeps on this course, just because it was great. It was great. And you can have a bad episode if you're doing episodic. You can have one bad episode. You can't necessarily have a bad season. You can have a bad episode here and there. You can have a really great episode right next to it. That's episodic storytelling. That's what Star Trek does best. Plus, social commentary much. Loved it. It was perfect. It felt so TOS. Everything from the sets to the story to the feel of the characters. Everything was done so well. I really have nothing bad to say about this episode. That being said, there might be one or two little nitpicky things that when we do our full complete breakdown, I might have to talk about. Like, one of the things that bothers me a little bit is the ready room right off the bridge. Not a huge deal, honestly, but damn. And Picard was good this week too. I watched Picard first and I was like, hey, that was really good. And then I watched Strange New Worlds and I'm like, hey, that was absolutely better. So Robert Westfall says, hope Cap saw my email fan art. No, I haven't seen that yet. Thank you, Murray. He says, love the background noise. It's just some of... Olivia, hey Cap, why is Captain Pike a cockblock? Great, you got your science officer back for a mission, but now he can't have relations for another 7 years. I saw some disco ships in dry dock, yes. Peter Lukaku puts in $5. Thank you so much for the super chat. It was a big relief to watch Strange New Worlds. Yes, it was. 87 people here, which is fantastic, but only 46 likes, guys. Hit that like button if you haven't already. Feel free to super chat. I would really appreciate it. It would really help us out this month. So if you're able to, please do. It's kind of been a slower month already, and it's just getting started. So this is Jericho. Ready room. I thought he went to his quarters. He did go to his quarters. Those were his quarters, the spacious quarters with the fireplace and the bar. That's his quarters. But at the end of the episode, he's looking out the window and he's like, I'm a lucky man. That's his ready room, or the briefing room, if you want to call it that, because they have the big screen in there. So that's right off the bridge. John McWhat says, my two tiny nitpicks, not a fan of the newer Gorn lore. I can overlook that pretty easily. And I don't think we got a species name for the main aliens this week. We might have. I'd have to check my notes, but feels like real Trek. Hell yeah, it does. Kit 10K also read that other than Seven and Raffi, none of the other cast members are returning for Picard season 3. At least that's what it is currently. I disagree. I think Eleanor will probably be back, but hey, Stuart, we're wearing the same shirt. Really? You're wearing the Trekyards web series shirt? Good man. Dave Walters. I thought it was cool how the 2 episodes today were thematically linked, excepting one's past and future. Yes. Did you get any of those EO 6 figures? No. NZ Fade, they nailed the first episode. I really, really hope the rest of the season is as strong. Yeah, I'm surprised because Akiva Goldsman wrote this one, and he must have been like totally focused on Strange New Worlds and was like, Picard, yeah, I got a few episodes. I know. Just do what you gotta do. I thought Sam Kirk was really silly. Their universe is as large as Wesley's warp bubble, it seems. No issues with that. The alien race created a warp bomb from imaginary data collected from a disco show is a tad ludicrous. From the disco battle is a tad ludicrous, as they would not have fundamental infrastructure or expertise to do so. Plot hole. It crossed my mind too, but Cautious optimism, folks. Remember, Picard started off strong. Wait to see the season develop. That said, nicely done. Not General Grievous. Picard had one fucking story arc because it's serialized storytelling. They had one story to tell over the course of a season, and it was like stepping in mud and then dragging it across the floor. The puddle's pretty deep, so the first step was really muddy and good. And then dragging it across the floor, it started getting really thin, wearing off the shoe, and then there was another puddle that they stepped in at the end. Honestly, the whole season, I'm not going to talk about Picard really, but the whole season of Picard season 2 could have been 3 episodes and would have been a perfect story. But anyway, moving on. Total random reviews, $20. Really hope it stays this way. I felt like Star Trek was back with episode 1 and of Picard. Hold on, I'm not sure. Then we got the next season, but I'm hopeful. I may also be a glutton for punishment. The Picard finale was good, though. Yes. Trek or not, he will read your comments. No need to repeat. LOL. I'm kind of skipping a few. I don't want to get too far behind in this chat because I've got a lot more people here than normal. So I'm going to try to read all of them. If I miss yours, you can repeat. That's fine. Why did Pike request Sam Kirk? Because they're friends, clearly. They're quite obviously friends, and that's how Kirk's going to get, or James Kirk's going to get the Enterprise. Squadron course. I guess technically we were wearing shirts with the same design. Would be awkward if it was the same actual shirt. That is, it would be. Sir Dork. I'm not saying they're bad, but overall, I've been very mad on Discovery and Picard, but this has me really excited. Yeah, right there with you. Sam being on the Enterprise was ridiculous, but not bad. Made me laugh. It wasn't ridiculous. I thought it was fun. Listen, Jericho, it felt like an Orville episode. Lon with makeup even looked like Alara. Hell yes, 100%. And that's why Orville's so good, because it captures that TNG, TOS feel with the stories. And guess what? The story was wrapped up at the end of the episode. Go figure that would work. Best live action Trek in recent memory. Yep. Thoughts on Soong's cons. That's for Picard. You can tune in tomorrow night for that. But just to touch on it real quick, that folder was dated 1996. That was when they shipped Khan off of the planet. So obviously Soong has failed. All his research is deleted. He hands that off to his descendants, and that's what Eric Soong uses in Enterprise to create his augments. That's all it is. Strange New Worlder, $20. So much to say, but love the efforts to return to TOS in tech and spirit. The Roddenberry's social concerns, parallels in plot, adored it, and the ships, of course. Characterization soared. Love Non, yes. Going back to what you said about the tech, I mean, those tricorder images, the tricorder displays were fucking bang on for TOS. 100%. Mwah. Chef's kiss. Yes. Yes. BJ Tehran, member for 19 months at the rank of commander. Watched Halo and Trek tonight in driveway under the moon. Ooh, how romantic. The Dark Lord Revan. Also, did they retcon the eugenics wars to happen in 21st century now? No, they did not. Pay attention. There's a little sticker on the thing on the file folder that says 1996. We're not talking about Picard. Lizard. I loved it. There were just a few technology discrepancies, like beaming them with clothes and beaming medicine into them, which I don't see later on. Also, I think the hull looked disgusting still. I didn't actually kind of like the clothes were changed mid-transport. I thought that was an interesting take, and adding the tricorders and stuff as well. That being said, it should be done all the time, but maybe there's a reason they don't do it. Maybe it fails once. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, the medicine in the eye was, I love how the guy's like, no, that's not how transporters work. We'll make it work. This Jericho still had that Akiva nonsense in it with beaming into different clothes and beaming medication right into Spock's eye. Meh. NZ Fade, the story was great. They started with an idea. What if we are the aliens? It captured my imagination. They just didn't paint by the numbers. Great story, great conclusion, great acting. Love the ship shots. Yeah, the characters, I already love all of them. Even Ortega. Why every time I'm in the captain's chair? Jeff Jacobs really loves Strange New Worlds. Really felt like Trek. I say job well done. Darth Lord Revan. No, what? Andre Benson, $5. I was happy with Picard finale. It was a little bit rushed, but good. But I was very, very happy with Strange New Worlds premiere. It felt like old school Trek. I haven't been taking any drinks for your super chats, but 143 of you here and 81 likes. Let's try to get to 100 likes, guys. Hit that like button if you're just joining. Matt Boardman. I know people who have seen the first 5 episodes of Strange New World, and they've all said it stays strong through those 5. Yeah, I think we're in for something good. John McWhat, looking it up on Memory Alpha, the new species is being called the Kayleys. I can't recall if that was mentioned on screen. I just finished my second viewing. Well, the planet's just Kaylee, so, or Kylie, whatever. They retcon the eugenics wars, not a fan of that. Okay. That dude Vance, the Dark Lord Revan was a connection to Enterprise and Eric Zoom. Captain, what is the USS Archer? A destroyer or a scout class? Neither, because it only had 3 fucking people on it, which means it's a very small ship. And you can actually tell by the support pylon being hollowed out that it's not a big ship. I wish we had a scale for it, but we don't. It should be a destroyer, but well, it should be a destroyer, scout ship, or the same thing, basically. But it's obviously a small ship. Only 3 people on board? Come on. What the hell was that? That was kind of a, but yeah. Total random reviews, $5. Also just wanted to add, great performances by all of the cast. Also, Chapel is freaking hot. Hell yeah, she is. Yes. Listen, Jericho, what is the second Civil War that we're talking about? It sounded like it came before the Eugenics War. Not sure. I think it's probably hasn't happened yet, would be my guess. I don't know. Trek or not, Picard hated Picard except episode 1 and final. Final episode was awesome, although still had some confusing bits. Yeah, it felt very rushed. But we're not talking about that tonight, Trek or not. Please, let's keep the conversation to Strange New Worlds, guys. Squadron Course. On a scale of 1 to 10, how many Top Gun 2s would you give to Strange New Worlds pilot? BJ Turon, $2. Not sure what I liked more, Trek or Halo. I haven't watched Halo, the new Halo yet, so I'm pretty sure my answer is going to be Trek. Richard Johnson, I'm praying hard that we never see the TARDIS turbolift shafts again ever. I don't think we will. Matt Boardman, I'd give the Strange New World pilot a 10 out of 10. Kit 10K, I couldn't watch Strange New Worlds, so did they show other starships in the episode? Yeah, they did. BJ Turon, Halo interiors look less like a gaming arcade or sex shop. Jamie gives it a 10 out of 10. Trek or not, Picard final episode felt a bit like Star Trek Generations for some reason. I didn't get that sense. Defiant Misraven Productions. Cap, what do you think of the When the Celled ship? It's all right. I mean, we got it. We'll be doing an episode on it, obviously. I'm not a fan of the hollowed out strut that they have, so. John McWhat, I really like the tricorder props. Yes. Trek or not, even the flaws in Strange New Worlds felt like something that would be in TOS, which made it funny in a strange way. Valkyrie 417, hey, what about the Saladin class? What about it? I don't think it was a Saladin class necessarily because it was a bit small, I'm sure, but we'll see. We'll see. Henzi Fade, I love the Doctor and the lady with him. So many good characters in this. Oh, Dr. Mbanga was awesome. I love Dr. Mbanga. Captain Casey Stewart gives Picard a 9.2 out of 10 and Strange New Worlds a 9.92 out of 10. Wow. Strange New Worlder and the shape of the pad, for example. Bravo. Yes. Trek or not, did you get the feeling that regarding Picard finale felt like Star Trek Generations with its camera and lighting? Was sick. I didn't get that, but the Junkman, I was told by many that Picard's season was good after first episode. I will wait to hear a few more episode reviews. Trust me, if you enjoyed the first episode, you'll enjoy the last episode. Junkman, so. Mark, Chapel can chase me throughout the ship any time. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Chuck Jones, I'm rating Strange New Worlds pilot as my least favorite Trek pilot, but at least they got the tone and style of TOS right. Yeah, you could have definitely dropped Kirk and Spock into this story, and if the story, the feel, it all felt TOS. Everything about it, even Pike's little speech about war. You could imagine Kirk saying the exact same thing to a war planet that's at war. It was perfect. Defiant says, I hear DePuggins. Yes, she's on the couch being lazy. Super Captain Foley, we've Spock and Spock, are you naked? Matt Barman definitely had a similar feel to Generations to me. There were also some strong musical cues from First Contact in there. I didn't get those, but Picard suggests eugenics wars and World War III happened after 2024. No, it doesn't, Putin's cat. For fuck's sakes. If you look, the file folder was on the bottom of the drawer. It was old, and there's a label on it where the tab is. It's on the right-hand side of the screen. It says 96. It was from 1996 when they found Khan. They shipped them off, sent them up. That they didn't make a good point of showing that it was from 1996, but it was. So no, they're not fucking retconning that. It's from 1996. That's the file on Khan. That's all it is. And he's going to hand it to his descendants or whatever, his next clone. I don't know. But it's what creates the augmented people in Enterprise. George Mangrum. Pike said that the eugenics war happened after Civil War II. I thought they retconned the timeline of the eugenics war. I'm not sure. That was a little bit confusing, yes, but it could have just been clumping a bunch of stuff together. Because it happened relatively close together. 96 was the eugenics wars, and then World War III happens, or the actual nuclear attack happens like 2042 or 52, something like that. Relatively close in time for somebody that's 200 years in the future. So, nah, no problem. That dude Vince, Chuck Jones, you couldn't possibly like Encounter at Farpoint more. Jose Rios, about to watch the episode, so I'll catch this afterwards. I'll enjoy it, Jose, and when you come back, hi, Jose, how's it going? Trek or not, definitely got the first contact cues as well, was damn good. I'm glad we got a captain's log, yes. Junkman, haven't seen it yet, but hard to believe as much as I hate. Junkman, you need to trust me. And let me tell you, if you enjoyed episode 1, if you like the feel of episode 1 and 2 of Picard season 2, you're going to like the last episode. Just trust me. Don't listen to anybody in my chat. Trust me. You know me more than you know them. So, Peter Lukaku, $5. Nurse Chapel is what I'm talking about. Rawr. Rawr. Yeah, hell yeah. William May, I wish they kept the Enterprise and Bridge the same as in the Cage. It's a few years after the Cage, so it's kind of fine. Craig McDonald, Chapel is my favorite, which was unexpected for me. Nick Weig, member for 18 months in the rank of Commander. Well, thank you for your service, Commander. Stranger Worlds made me feel like a kid watching TNG again. Heck yeah. It made me feel like watching TOS when I was young. So, Trent C. already remember crew names better than Discovery's. Yes. Nurse Chapel is my Tilly. I totally agree. The Junkman, leaving in case there are some spoilers for Picard. Watch it later. See you, Foley. See you later, Junkman. Dave Walters, Prime Directive. It'll never stick. Putin's cat. In Space Seed, eugenics and World War III are the same thing. And spoke last. I don't really give a shit. All right. Open Maw Productions. We're not talking about the eugenics wars right now. Open Maw Productions, $5. Great little details in Strange New Worlds. Felt like classic Trek. Left a bit of a tear in my eye. Lots of fun. Yep, I can concur with that. Daniel Darnell. I really like Strange New Worlds. It was a nice balance of modern and classic Trek. A good throwback to the original, yet in a more modern way, but not overdone. General Grievous, maybe they'll stop changing clothes mid-transport after a transporter accident causes the away team to materialize nude on a planet where nudity is forbidden in public, and they die terribly. Matt Boardman, $10. Thank you so much, Matt. Love the cast of the show. I found everyone engaging and really makes me happy to have some good live-action episodic Trek again. I found myself wanting to be there on the Enterprise with them. Absolutely. I felt the same way. Like I told you, that there's one moment when they're getting ready to transport down, and I'm like, it just dawned on me, like, this is how people must have felt in the 60s, having not seen this before, and this is the first time seeing it, because that's exactly the feeling that I got, which I would never thought I would have with Star Trek. And I had that feeling, and that made me so happy. 189 people here, 126 likes, guys. That's awesome, but hit that like button. Try to get up to 150. And thank you guys for joining. Make sure you're subscribed. 3 people. What if someone gets sick? I know, right? Sorry, retype. I am about to watch the episode, so don't want any spoilers. I'll catch this streak afterwards. I think you mean the stream, but yes, enjoy. I got an itchy back, so hold on. And I don't have a Sylvia to scratch it for me. I look like an idiot. I'm sorry. I'm watching myself scratch my back, and I apologize for that visual. The Dark Lord Revan, in Pike's speech, he say the Second American War turns into Eugenics Wars, it turned to World War III. Okay. Mr. Captain 93, Enterprise looks good, the bridge so beautiful. BJ Turan, $2, no retcon of Eugenics Wars, Pike's bad at history. I doubt that very much. Did you see his place? He's got an antique phone, he's watching a classic movie, which for some reason I can't remember the name of, for Christ's sakes, but the whole Take Me to Your Leader thing is from that. What's the name of the movie? Tell me in the comments. Only one of you. I don't want 15 comments giving me the name of the movie. It's Batu, Klaktu, Baratu, Niktau, or whatever. Shit. Why can't I remember the name of the movie? Anyhow, whatever. Craig McDonald, I can't believe that Archer didn't even have an engineer. James McWhat, I just assumed that 3 people isn't the normal crew complement. They had to limit the mission for security reasons. Nah, that's just stupid. Matt Boardman, I feel like the Second World War was very much a commentary on the political environment in the United States. That's the feeling I got, because that footage they showed, the storming of the Capitol and, audit the election or audit the votes or whatever. Yeah, that's kind of what it felt like to me too. BJ Turan, can I come live with you during Second World Civil War? Sure. Trek or not, the single-nacelled ship something like the Franklin? No, it's not at all like the Franklin. Oh, a small mission ship. Yeah, that's kind of... I got the sense it was more like an Oberth class, so... Matt Borman, just remember to all in the chat, please hit that like button and do your best to keep the discussion on Strange New Worlds. We'll talk about Picard tomorrow. Yes, we will. Defiant, Mr. Raven Productions. There are 5 Federation ships in the episode of Strange New Worlds. Alan Scott, and a shuttle named Stamets, after my favorite Disco's character. I doubt it's named after that Paul Stamets. Probably named after the Paul Stamets we have now, who is actually the namesake for the Paul Stamets in Discovery, the actual scientist. Or just another scientist named Stamets, or as a commemorative thing to the people that lost their lives on Discovery in that battle with the Klingons, because that's totally what happened. Putin's cat, April, get crew ready by 1800. Spock is 4 days away by warp. Yeah. I did notice that. It would have been great if the Enterprise actually came into Vulcan's orbit to pick him up, but he was on board when Pike got there, so... Defiant, Mr. Raven Productions. I'm not a fan of the hollowed out pylon either, but it is still a win for us odd nacelle design lovers. Yes, it is, absolutely. Trek or not, Defo, there was a thing I read somewhere recently that said that the U.S. met a lot of the requirements for a civil war to occur based on, I think, CIA assessments used for other countries. And Benga was so great, so much personality right out of the gate. Don't get the house salad, or the house dressing, sorry. Mr. Captain 93, the theme seems so much better after seeing the episode. Strange New Worlds gets a 10 out of 10. Transport room Spock, need pants, he doesn't wear shorts, says Ozzy. This is Jericho. I LOL'd during the credits with all those executive producers. I think my name came up. Snoopy McQueen, Anson Mount is now the face of Star Trek. Anton Smith, thoughts on Admiral April's appearance? I thought it was great. I really did think he was fine. Putin's cat, dude, just transport that drug right into his neck. Fleetpaw Swiftback, member for 26 months in the rank of captain. Thank you, Fleetpaw, for all your service as a captain and as a moderator. You do a fantastic job. Sorry I'm late, Cap, but... Oh, you were late? Well, then you don't do a fantastic job as a moderator. You're fired. Had to build a fire in the wood stove because someone is too cold. Shakes my head. Picard was good. Felt rushed. Strange New Worlds was better. Enjoyed both. William May, the Borg Queen, can assimilate me anytime. Kit 10K, assuming they stick to some of the original lore, I think it'd be cool if you see someone with a schematic, like they just started to design the Excelsior class, just have it sitting on the table. Well, speaking of guys, both this channel and my Captain Foley personal channel, they actually have a new feature available called a Super Thanks, which we activated today. It's like a super chat, but I don't know what it does specifically. I don't know if you have the option to do that when you do a super chat, but it's called a Super Thanks, and apparently it's a video or something. I don't know what it is. So if anybody wants to try it, I think you can try any amount. If somebody wants to try that instead of a super chat, I'd appreciate it because I kind of want to see what it does. But we turned that on today, so 201 people here, 164 likes, guys. Hit that like button. Make sure you're subscribed. Please comment. Let me know your thoughts. Wyatt Pruitt kind of found it weird they used Picard footage in the future montage during Pike's speech. Defiant, Mr. Raven Productions. I cried during the Strange New Worlds premiere. I felt like a kid in the 90s watching Trek for the first time. Ooh. Bryce, the speech Pike gave at the end was just way too woke and PC. I hated it. Not actually. That's how you do an Enterprise captain's speech. Worthy of Kirk or Picard. Not Archer, though. He sucked. Actually, I got a lot of Archer vibes from Pike in this episode. A lot of Archer vibes. A lot of what he said, like screw the directive or whatever the hell he said. I can't remember now. And even the whole that's not gonna stick. There was something else earlier in the episode that was very Archer-like. So, packed space, greatest Star Trek ever. Squadron Course, $2. Got to run for a bit. Glad everyone is liking Strange New Worlds. I am too. I'm happy to hear it. Who knew we'd get Kirk's brother? Wow. Trek or not, did they manage to trap Khan in 1996? LOL, considering he's an augment gone rogue. Olivia, so the Enterprise shuttles are named after Discovery crew members. By the way, the Titan shuttles are named after jazz musicians. What? And actually, the Enterprise shuttles are named after explorers, but whatever. I love Tom Selleck making a cameo at the end. Tom Selleck, that's funny. Mark Philippe. I like when Pike was talking about Earth history and it panned to people throughout the planet. Great effect of how horrifying it was. Yes. Joseph Medetz. Uhura has a very nice moment with the scientist and she knew information on the planet. Yeah. Magnus 4096. Is this the best premiere episode of all Trek series? It is up there for sure. It might be tied with Lower Decks. I don't know. But for a serious live action Trek show, yeah, I would say probably yes. Matt Boardman, Paul Stamets is actually an American mycologist, so my guess is it's named after him more so than the Discovery character. Yes, I just wish they wouldn't have named it Stamets. That's just kind of stupid because everybody's going to think it's named after Stamets on Discovery. Robert Westfall, joining again, Cap. Did you see my artwork for the Enterprise fandom? No, I haven't. Stormhawk 427, love this episode, and I'm looking forward to the rest of the season. So am I. Simzoid, this felt like the TOS mixed with Enterprise for me. Loved it. Yeah, it felt very TOS to me, and I thought it was fantastic. Project Achieva, I'm late because I just ended on CTV. It was pretty good. Pretty good. It was fucking awesome. Jonathan, Strange New Worlds was pretty good. There are a few nitpicks. Warp looked like they were in a slipstream instead of stars going by. Calling the communicator a phone bothered me. No security to stop the guy running. Okay, Jonathan, she wasn't calling the communicator a phone. She was making a joke because it's sitting right in front of his antique telephone. So it's like, hey, your phone's ringing. Ah. He's into antiques. He's into old stuff. Samuel said the exact same thing, and I changed his mind on it because it's literally sitting right in front of the phone. It's a joke. Trek or not, that engine room was sexy. Steve Martagany, have you discussed the medical department's failure to notify security a random alien got loose and was running around the Starship, let alone the failure of security to place guards at door? Well, yeah, I haven't mentioned that, but take me to your leader. Now starships can hover. Good tea, nice house, $5. Spock's girlfriend was so hot. Was it just me who thing went to ping? All right, I'm being naughty a little. It's funny, and you're absolutely right. She was when she says response. She rolls her R, response. And he's like, nicely said. It was a great. That date scene was fantastic. Colin Montgomery, yeah, the phone part bothered me too. Don't care for 21st century dialogue mannerisms. Guys, it's a joke. It was sitting right in front of a phone. Pike likes old things, in case you can't tell. NZ Fade, isn't it great that they weren't crying for half the show? I felt they were optimistic and fun. They nailed it. The shot of the Enterprise over the city, incredible. Steve says, yeah, what was up with saying... BJ Tehran, the galaxy is very small. Okay. It was in Star Trek V, too. Yeah, it is when they need it to be. Cryptic Spider-Man, I was excited for this, and I'll say that it did not disappoint me at all. I'm right there with you, man. Mark, I don't think Akiva could write good Trek. My heart sank when I saw his name in the credits, but I was not disappointed. Yeah, I knew he wrote this one like months ago, so I was kind of like, cautiously optimistic. Fleetpaw, the main cast had lines. I was impressed. I can name most of them, too. A couple of fine ladies in Strange New Worlds. Bryce, con file from 96 probably leads to where unused augment embryos are stored, or the recipe for making more. Archer mentioned Colonel Green wanting to euthanize the damaged from World War III. It's wars, plural. That dude Vince, referencing a phone didn't bother me. Such small details are just so meh for me to hang on to. Richard Johnson, Pike's footage of World War III had me seriously questioning Rios' decision to stay behind. Dude, ain't no woman or cigars worth living through that. The Day the Earth Stood Still. That's the movie. Thank you, guys. Everybody's yelling at me now. Captain Pike has the best captain's quarters in any Trek captain. Yes, he does. JT Gamer, the question is, how can one command personnel command entire ship? What? Bryce, my new theory, the eugenics wars, plural, may refer to a series of wars from the 90s to the 2060s. Yes, pretty short span of time when you're looking back 200 years. So, Cryptic Spider-Man, by the way, now that I think about it, did Rios ever think, wait, me and my woman are going to die anyways after World War III. I don't think it's worth it. Mr. Captain 93, so was the Archer the precursor to the California class? Probably not. First rule about disco, don't talk about disco. Everyone's going to know by season's end. That secret is out. Klaatu, Barada, Niktu. Yes, thank you, Brace. Is the Archer a Saladin class? Probably, although I think it's a lot smaller than a Saladin would be, but... Livy Julius, the helmswoman was my favorite character. Never before have I heard the words, welcome to the Enterprise. Such a sarcastic mode. Yes. I really enjoyed her character. She was hilarious. Enterprise did second mission, contact mission. Alyssa Jericho, you'd think a ship with the name Archer would be more significant in type. Terrence Williams, as an American, as a citizen of the world in the 2020s, Pike's speech and the historical footage from the insurrection blew me away. BJ Tehran, why did take a shuttle up to the ship only to beam in. He could have done that from his home. Good question. Kit 10K, since the live got over 100 likes, I sent the 50 PayPal to you. Oh, thank you, Kit. Oh, I love you, man. Thank you. Peter Lakako, $5. Akiva and Kurtzman only had to go through 3 Trek shows to finally get it nailed down. At least they're improving. Let's be fair. Smart Smears, just imagine Strange New Worlds will be the first Trek show for somebody. Lucky them. Yes. The intro to Strange New Worlds opening is just God. It makes me cry so hard. Yeah, I know there's a PayPal fleet paw. Thank you. Craig McDonald. Also, holy crap, the Gorn are brutal in what they do to their prisoners. A birthing sack. Shit. Yes, the Earth. The Day the Earth Stood Still is great. I haven't seen it in forever, and I can't believe I couldn't remember the title. But there you go. I'm getting some revenge now on some Gorn right now in STO, says Steve. Let's see. The biggest smile on my face may have been when the tricorder had a little TOS bridge style orange graph on the screen. Best prop on the show so far. Yeah, it was 100% accurate to what a tricorder display would look like in the 60s. It was fantastic. It's what the, well, it's up there actually. It's what the display screens look like on the Diamond Select tricorders. Finally, a Trek worthy of the golden era of the franchise. General Grievous, $2. Like and save a Miranda and Oberth from exploding. Marvin Hour, I think it's funny that the first episode is literally fixing mistakes made with Discovery. Yeah, that's a good point. Andrew says, love the show, excellent character, prop, and story development. If they give the Enterprise a coat of paint, it would be perfect. There's the Enterprise 1.5 right there with registry lights and stuff. It's like an upgraded TOS one right there. Love the show, excellent character, prop, and story. Oh, I read that one already. Never mind. Just think, the first season of Trek shows are the worst. Any early thoughts on Cardassia Prime or any of the other planets shown on the map? Not yet. I haven't really had a chance to examine the map too much. We're going to probably do that in a breakdown video, so I would say stay tuned for that. Make sure you're subscribed. Speaking of subscribers, we have 177 people and 177 likes. That's awesome, but a lot of you guys come in later or whatever, so hit that like button. Let's try to get up to 200. William May, Captain Pike was watching The Day the Earth Stood Still. A nice way to homage the Mr. Robert Wise. Yes. Absolutely. I never put that connection together, but yeah. NZ Fade, new way to get pregnant in the future. If you want to increase your country's birth rate, just transport sperm into everyone. Too far? Anyone else really bothered that Pike said take the com instead of take the con? Yeah, I made a note of that. I wrote that on a pad when that happened. So I'm like, take the com. Take command, I guess, but it's supposed to be con. Yes, I did make a note of that. Bacasta. Imagine how good Strange New Worlds will be in later seasons. Mr. Captain 93, Admiral April Shuttlecraft. Now that's how you update a shuttlecraft with TOS overtones. 100%. That shuttle was awesome. Defiant says the Enterprise underslung 2 nacelled ship, a Shepard class, the USS Archer, and a TOS Strange New Worlds shuttle. Trek or not, don't have that option on my end. Oh, for the super thank you? Or the super thanks? I don't know. I just activated it today, so. Let's Jericho, it's when you comment on a video, you can leave money with it. Oh, okay. Good to know. Thank you. Diesel Robot, hey there, just got here. What did you think of go to war or join our federation? Sounded like a threatening ultimatum to me. Not really. I don't know. I didn't get any kind of threatening vibe from it, but I can see why you'd say that. The Darth Eddie, the first standalone episode of live action Trek since 2005, and I couldn't be happier. It's almost like the episodic format for Star Trek works. Who knew? Open Maw Productions, the phone ringing sound that they reworked between the two different classic Trek sounds was really nice. Also love that they added the cage sparkle sound effect from the cage. Yes, the transporter had a very cross between TOS and the cage sound effect, which was fantastic. He also says that was really nice. They toned down the sound design from Discovery, which always bugged me like crazy. The tone, lighting, acting, etc. They kept the overly tell, don't show aspect of characterization down too. E.R. Mixon's craziest theories. April looks almost the same as he did in the animated series. The animated show just screwed up his skin tone as yet another one of the wonky animation errors. Well, there you go. Richard Johnson. Robert Wise directed The Day the Earth Stood Still and the motion picture. Pike got to be Klaatu without the giant killer robot. Yes. Jace says it is supposed to be Take the Con, though. It is, absolutely. Mr. Captain 93, the transporter effect and sound, nailed it, 100%. Broken speaker, about 15 minutes in, so far so good, back to it. Enjoy. Bacasta, LOL, just realized the movie just came out. What movie? Bryce says, believe it or not, the remake of The Day the Earth Stood Still wasn't half bad. A lot to ponder. Humans are destroying all biodiversity. Aliens are saving samples of Earth life and going to cleanse the planet. Yeah, I didn't mind the remake at all. I actually saw it in theaters. That was all right. Open Maw Productions. I think the Enterprise was Pike's killer robot. Yeah, it's my talking about big sticks. There's my big stick. There's my big stick right there. Kit 10K. I'm not seeing that button you told us about. Either I'm blind or dumbass or both. Probably both. No, it's apparently something for when it's not a live video. You can still comment and leave money, essentially. Snoopy says Anson Mount is now the face of Star Trek. Yeah. The Darth Eddy. At least this ready room has a TOS-style wall monitor with the row of 4 blinking lights under it, and the room is well lit. Trek, remember housed light sets. Yes, I really do like the briefing room and or ready room, whatever the hell it is. I love that huge display. So much about it. I just love the chairs, everything. Just was so on point. NZ Fade, Uhura made me laugh every time she had a scene. She'd have to spin around in her chair first, then close up on her face. Any crying like on Star Trek Discovery? No, John, there wasn't. Michael Metzler, the Titan shuttles are named after jazz musicians. Yeah, that's a great joke where someone confuses the Armstrong thinking it's named after Neil. Defiant says Strange New Worlds, Lower Decks, and DS9 for me. Best first episode. Bryce, wait, that was Kirk's brother? I thought it was his dad. I was half asleep watching it. Anyway, the guy who runs into Uhura is going to have a hell of a story to tell his mates. Rob Vansil says, yo, Rob. BJ Tehran, I just said thanks, $2 on your video this afternoon on Strange New Worlds. Don't think you can do it live. Sadly, no emojis available to say thanks. Oh, well, okay, it's for videos that aren't live videos that you can. That's awesome. I like that. Trek or not, Pike has some ranch that Kirk. Pike has the same ranch that Kirk has. Did Kirk inherit it from Pike? Example, we see something similar in Generations in the next. It's not at all the same. Just that it's a log cabin type style. It's not at all the same. It's not the same location. It's not the same interior at all. So no. The Darth Eddy, Sam Kirk's mustache is just as juicy as it was the day he dies on Deneva. He's a legend. He has a legendary stash. Paul Gullen, the confusion comes from the eugenics wars being mentioned in both Picard and Strange New Worlds. Sam Kirk should have been Chris Pine. Bryce says, when he retells it, there were these 2 hot alien women and they wanted me. Craig McDonald, Emissary is still the best live-action pilot for me. Strange New Worlds comes in second, Broken Bow is third. I totally disagree with that. Emissary's all right. It starts out awesome. But I'm not going to get into ranking first episodes, but Pike can love history, collect antiques, and still mess it up, just like Trekkies messing up canon. Jonathan, the USS Foley has shuttlecrafts named after pinup models, right? You're absolutely right. Fleet Russian sex bots are attacking. Arm put on torpedoes. Yeah, thank you for taking them out. Atum says, remember when Geordi would give a guided tour of the engineering center in TNG? Lisa Jericho, did you get the implication that Lon is indeed Khan's daughter? She said the Gorn captured her colony ship, another botany bay-like ship, perhaps. No, I did not get that implication at all. Interesting take on it, but no, I don't think so. Steve Martigani, we were too busy staring at the communicator to see the antique phone behind it. Mark, I like how Spock and T'Pring kiss, then immediately the waiter tells them to leave. Yes, can you please do that somewhere else? Talonhawk, love the show, although every time Pike was haunted by his vision, I ended up also feeling haunted and afraid of the other show's writing, bleeding over into Strange New Worlds. Phantom of Many Topics throws in $2. Finally, a legit Star Trek show. Wow, Gorn talk. Yeah, I think the Gorn are going to be the big baddies of the season. Lisa Jericho, you'd think Spock would mention that he knew Sam in Operation Annihilate. Shannon Bailey, the first 5 episodes Strange New Worlds reviewed very strongly. Considering TNG, even DS9 and Voyager started quite poorly, it's super promising. Finally, some great Trek. The Vulcan waiter was great. Yes, he was. The communicator turned into a video call was cool. I liked that as well. He dropped it in the slot. The silver stripe on the side lit up for a second, and then it was a video call. I thought that was fantastic. Logan Cap, this episode along with the second gives me true hope for Star Trek. I can't believe how good it was. Q will probably... We're not talking about Q right now. So, BJ Tehran, she said phone because Pike and girlfriend had just binged watching Battlestar Galactica. That ship was full of intership wall phones. Mr. Captain 93, when was the last time you felt this much excitement for Trek? Probably when 2009 came out, and I watched it the first time, and I thought it was really great. And then I watched that 2009 7 times in theaters, and each time I watched it, I went more and more and more. But I was super excited to have Trek back on the big screen. So, yeah, I haven't felt this excited for Star Trek in a long time. So, that dude Vince, RK, I think he is, as I think his story is complete. Tubular Bill, just saw the first episode today. It was okay, not great. Okay, interesting take. Stern Von Ulk, Strange New Worlds was a ton of exposition, not much really happened, has promise, and is the most similar to pre-2009 Trek, but still preachy. That's the point. That's the point. Social commentary, TOS. This could have been a TOS episode 100%. Jonathan, you have changed my mind. On what? The telephone thing? Tubular Bill has potential, but at times seems to be silly. And that's awesome. That has that TOS vibe. So, yes. Craig. Trek has always been preachy. Watch TOS. Kirk gets very preachy sometimes. Yes, Kirk could have given this exact same speech to a planet that's at war with each other. Absolutely, 100%. He's done it. Similar. I reckon Q... I'm not talking about Q right now. That dude Vance. Yes, Trek has always been preachy. RJ the Good. I really liked it. It actually made me feel feelings. Yes. Cryptic Spider-Man. Q's not talking about Q right now. Diesel Robot. Memory Alpha lists Archer as Hermes class. Haven't seen any proof of that, though. Well, the Hermes class and the Saladin class are pretty much the exact same. There's slight differences, obviously, because they're different classes. I think the Saladin has... I think the Saladin has more weapons than the Hermes class. We've done a whole episode, a full video on the Saladin class and the Hermes class, the single nacelled Franz Joseph designs. So I would say check that out. Fleet Paul will probably put a link in the chat so you can open it in a new window or a new tab and watch it after the live. But yeah, the Saladin was a much requested episode, and we finally did it, and it was really fun to do. So Bryce says, don't know why you need so many fireplaces on a ship. I guess Khan was right when he said it's very cold in space. As for the phone, I want that communicator sound for a ringtone. I want pics of the new ships. Project Achieva. I think all of the other planets near the disco time jump area should also be investigated. Jonathan, the theme song is far better than Discovery, but it has too much going on. The Lower Decks theme is more in line with what I expect. The beginning and end of Strange New Worlds, them are the best parts. The theme is the best parts. Tubular Bill, been watching Enterprise again. Seasons 3 and 4 were really good. Yes, they were. Ozzy, it always happens when I'm in the captain's chair. Sims Zoid, I thought that Pike transported out of the shuttle because he wanted to end the conversation with the lady he was with. Possibly. E.R. Mixon's craziest theories. To be honest, Pike's speech hit a little too close to home. World War III in the near future feels like a real possibility. That's just a little scary. That's the point. It's supposed to scare you into realizing how stupid it all is and to just fucking get along with people. I hope people in power see it because, yes, it was meant to hit close to home. That's the point. RJK Studios. Just finished watching it. Already better than Disco and Picard. Trek needs to be episodic with complete and satisfying stories each week. Not a single story painfully stretched to 10 episodes. Yep. Craig Cruden. The shuttle could be tradition since it gives a good opportunity to inspect the ship. Yeah. BJ Charan, why send a ship with only 3 people to do first contact? Maybe Starfleet should downsize to 1 man and a robot, like in the day the Earth stood still. That's hilarious. I don't think it was sent necessarily for first contact. They might have been doing some scientific research nearby and had just ran into a warp signature, and they're like, hey, well, we can do first contact. The Gorn and the Magog from Andromeda. Yeah. Funny. Paul N. Was Strange New Worlds the Star Trek we hoped for, or was it more Kurtzman Trek? Oh, it's the Star Trek you hope for, Paul. Renitus Lux. Star Trek is back. In the last couple years, our pursuits to the stars are back on course. It's myths like this that inspire us to push for the stars and to emulate the great stories that we weave. Darth Eddy, the sickbay transporter pad was a little jarring, but we can always say that McCoy refuses to use it when he was a chief medical officer or had it disconnected. Yes, I love that there's an emergency transporter in sickbay. I think that's fantastic. But you got to remember, too, Darth Eddy, that the size of that sickbay is huge, and it could be that something happens to the ship between now and when Kirk gets it, that it gets damaged to the point where it actually gets refitted into the ship that Kirk has. And as a result, sickbay and stuff are refitted or whatever, because sickbay is a lot smaller in TOS. So I don't know if they're going to address that at all, but I really like the fact that there's an emergency transporter in sickbay. It makes 100% sense. It's a fantastic idea, and I don't know why they haven't done it before, We're 196 likes. We're 4 likes away from 200, guys. Hit that like button. Let's try to get those likes over 200. We can do it. And yeah, keep the super chats coming. I would like to have some more super chats. Robert Westfall, permission to take my leave of the stream. Yes, Robert, you're dismissed. Fleet Paw, have you seen what the Gorn do at their weddings? I can use my imagination to post it. What Lon describes. James Johnson, can you imagine being a human living among Vulcans? It's fun to watch how they interact amongst themselves, but I don't think I'd be able to stand it for very long. It says a lot about Spock's mom. Tubular Bill, again, Strange New Worlds was okay. Visually, it was pretty incredible. Story, so-so. people are always going to find something to complain about. I think the story was great because it was wrapped up in one episode, and because, again, it had a very much TOS feel to it. I'm sure they're going to upgrade some of the stories to be more in line with TNG type stories, but I thought for an opening episode, it was great. It's exactly what Star Trek should be. It addressed the social commentary, it had all of that stuff, and it was just so well done. So, Robert Tyndale, great start, can't wait for the next. RG Markel, I was never a TOS fan, watched it, but this was awesome. RK, I enjoyed both Strange New Worlds and Picard. The unexpected cameo in Picard had me tearing up. Diesel Robot, I'm really hoping that they don't pull a bait and switch with the show. It devolves into Save the Galaxy story. I don't think it will. Bryce, Anson Mount said in an after show that they specifically requested that the network let them use the insurrection footage. Sure, now people are going to complain. It was too political because of that. Whatever. Yeah, I totally agree, Bryce. Fleetpaw, have you shared the Saladin class episode yet? I shared the link. As an Enterprise fan, I have the first ship seen in Strange New Worlds be a vessel named USS Archer with a warp nacelle that had a TOS pilot-like spike on the Bizarre Collector. It was a huge smile. Yes. Bryce, I heard that too. Pike said, take the calm. I thought I was imagining it. No, you weren't. It even says it in the subtitles. Robert Vance, at first I thought Pike was going to start quoting Klaatu. Paul N., what insurrection footage? And I don't care. Video, awesome. Strange New Worlds was okay. That is far above my expectations. Steve says, did anyone else find it incredibly ominous how they showed the first contact species trying to build an Enterprise replica? They're not trying to build an Enterprise replica. Jesus Christ. They don't have the technology to do that, anywhere near that. They're just studying it. They were given the plans by, or maybe they weren't given the plans by Starfleet, but it was just an infatuation with something new. Like, it would be the same thing here if aliens showed themselves. We would have people looking at the ship going, what is that? Is that a light? Write it down or whatever. So they weren't trying to build one, I don't think, necessarily. Maybe they were. I don't know. Mr. Ataz, Samuel Kirk thought only Kirk referred to his brother George Kirk as Sam. And good close friends. You can tell that Pike is a good friend of George Kirk, or Samuel Kirk, whatever you want to call him. You can tell he's a good friend of his just by the way they greeted each other. So, that being said, I think you're right. I think Kirk did say, I'm the only one that calls him Sam. I gotta go back and watch that now. Operation Annihilate. I have to give that a watch because, yeah, you might be right, actually. But you can tell that Pike and him have known each other for a long time, so. I love Melanie Scorfano, Wyatt Earp, Letterkenny, as Captain Battelle, Pike's girlfriend. Oh, that's who that was. I knew I recognized her. You're right, she is from Rhinona Earp. Oh my God. I was like, yeah, she looks familiar. Moving on. And Saba Noor, just finished it, love it, can't wait to see how much everyone hated it. It's so woke, and 21st century politics, and damn that dirty hole. Open Maw Productions, the ending of the episode is an homage to the day the Earth stood still. The Enterprise is Pike's Klaatu. NZ Fade, can Spock please send his work out routine? I know, he was cut, man. George Kirk is his dad, Sam Kirk is his brother. You're right. Lista Jericho, you didn't pay attention. Lista Jericho says Pike kept saying he saw his death. He didn't die from that. Did you not listen to the dialogue? He says, I saw my death, or at least the death of the man I am now, or today. The death of the man I am today. Basically, his life ends at that point, and then he's got a new life in a wheelchair. So, yes, he did. You need to listen to the dialogue. Good Tea, Nice House throws in $5. It was so refreshing not to have giant mystery box at the end of the episode. I'm looking forward to learning more about the characters each week. Hell yes, especially Chapel. More Chapel, please. Defiant says it was indeed Jim Kirk, brother George Samuel Kirk from Operation Annihilate. Daniel Madden, I'm glad they were finally going back to episodic format. If it sure beats the other crap they've been trying to pass as Star Trek, i.e. Picard and Discovery. Finally, Star Trek feels like Star Trek. Yep. That dude Vince. This is Jericho being a vegetable is being dead to some of us. Bryce, don't know why people are surprised the Enterprise can hover. That was established in Enterprise and the Kelvin films. Probably the TOS yesteryears since the Enterprise didn't drop like a rock out of the sky. All right, Bryce, I have to disagree with you a little bit there. In Enterprise is a lot more structurally sound for the atmosphere than the TOS Enterprise is. And the Kelvin films are fucking Kelvin films. Nobody gives a shit. And TOS yesteryear, that ship had just slingshot around the sun, was damaged and was having trouble. It was struggling. If you watch the footage, it's doing this because it's like it's almost falling out of the sky. And even after they repair the impulse engines, it's still like slugging it up. It's not designed to be in the atmosphere. That being said, I really didn't give a shit. I thought that was fine. It's a goddamn spaceship. It can do what it needs to do. I have no problem with it. Getting sick of arguing semantics about shit like that at some point. It was fine in the episode. I thought it was fun. So Fleet Pile, let's do that. Terrence Williams, after all the work on Star Trek, using a fan online criticism to get canonically down to acceptable levels, Trekyards and others, I think they should hire you and Calkins as consultant. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I would take a consultant gig for sure. General Grievous, I would like to have a cameo, even if it was a flashback from either the old Archer, Malcolm, or retcon Trip's death. Also, Saval and T'Pol, unlikely. Tim McCaffrey, they could have put blinkies or something on the wind turbines. It kind of looked modern day. It's also buttfuck Idaho nowhere. No, it was Bear Creek, Montana, but still, same thing. E.R. Mixon's craziest theories. I really hope Chapel ends up having a relationship with Spock, as it will recontextualize her character in TOS as being much less pathetic, as simply still caring about her ex. Yeah, I mean, she definitely gave Spock the eye. She's like, and you're first. I just love that. It was great. Snoopy McQueen, Will Wheaton said in this series, if the series is a success, he could see after season 5, he could also see them making a movie. Hell yeah. Dustin D, is Galaxy Quest canon to Star Trek because Tom Sagat plays science officers in both? No, it's not at all. Renatux Lux. It's clear that episodic storytelling is a natural format for Trek. I hope those in charge learn something from this show moving forward. So excited for next Thursday. I'm right there with you, hoping that they learn something. Did they? Don't know. We'll see. Akiva's Tomorrowland was pretty good, if not a bit mawkish and intolerable. Jace Bales, Vulcan has PDA rules like high school. Gull Madrid, I am surprised Akiva Goldsman could write such a thing on his own. So am I. I'm not exactly sure that he wrote this. He just put his name on it. Would be my guess. E.R. Mixon's craziest theories. Spock never mentions that he knows anyone. It's the character. Listen, Jericho, what is the sister Spock was talking about? Kit 10K, since Pike likes old things such as objects and movies, I'd die laughing if we see him in his quarters watching an episode of The Three Stooges. Oh, I could definitely see him being a Three Stooges guy, Kit. Absolutely. Video awesome. I'm so glad they wrapped up Picard Season 2 nicely. I honestly didn't mind it. No, it was good. William May, voice-activated communicator is cool. And a fucking smart idea. Yes. Bryce says, in Pike's Ranch in Montana, or Mojave, so that big old TV set that Pike had in the cage was an antique that he had collected. I do want that comm sound from my phone. Simzoid, sorry. Not having holograms was nice too. Yes, it was. Jace Bales. The best thing would be if Pike was ever watching TV and the TZ episodes starring Shatner. General theory of stupidity. Theraxis said, I really enjoyed this episode. Criskma1, shouldn't it be George Kirk? Only Jim called him Sam. Good point. They called him Sam on purpose, and not a good one. This was the best Trek since 2009. Okay, if you think 2009 is good, sure. Jonathan, it seems a little funny that the people on the planet were able to reverse engineer warp technology from looking at a ship through a telescope. I wanted them to say that they were X-ray telescopes. Yeah. That being said, they had plasma torpedoes, which were primitive. So they had some kind of technology, so I don't have a problem with X-ray telescopes. Eric the Bat, I like how the episode was very reflective of the day the Earth stood still. Video awesome. To be honest, more happened in Strange New Worlds, episode 1, than a few episodes of Picard. Yes, absolutely. Theraxis, people complaining about preachiness in this episode, I don't think have ever actually seen a Star Trek episode. Especially TOS. I do have to agree there. John McWhat, I really enjoyed Spock and Pike's conversation. Pike talked about his trauma in a mature way, and it was ultimately relevant to their solution on Kylie. Eric the Bat, Hermes is a scientific, Saladin is a destroyer. Yes, thank you. Thank you for clearing that up. It is in our episode, I know that for sure. So, Theraxis, I'd also say that those who tweet, fans are going to be up in arms about social commentary and preachiness. Jace Bales, more like best Trek since 2001, I'd say. Ryan, I love how the communicator interfaces with the computer monitor. I do too. I thought that was fantastic. Ryan Compton, what was the deal with the doc and her with the eye thing? What do you mean, what was the deal with her with the eye thing? She needed to create a, what was it? I can't remember the word now. Something to modify Spock's genetics so that he was able to pass a retina scan. Thank you, Fleetpaw. There's the Saladin class episode. Everybody right-click on it, open it in a new tab, and watch it after the live. Saladin class was an upscaled Hermes for those that didn't know. Adam Ilioff, $5. Lon wasn't on the Botany Bay. If you pause the scene where Pike was in the shuttle, you can read the name of her colony ship, the SS Puget Solas. Mr. Tokyo Frank, old Trek has always preached about being too preachy, unlike Picard. Mr. Ataz, Kyle has changed his decent. Kyle has changed his scent along with April. What? Eric the Bat, since Pike likes The Day the Earth Stood Still, I wonder if he likes the Rocky Horror Picture Show. Strange New World was very good, 10 times better than Disco. However, I am not counting my chickens when it comes to the other episodes being just as good. But we can hope for better. The problem, we can hope for better. You know why? Because it's episodic. When you have a different story for every fucking episode, you can have one that's a miss and not that great, and the next 3 are fucking fantastic. You can have a miss, you can have a dip. But when you have a story structure that's 10 episodes long and it's all one story, if that story is not good or can't hit the beats of 10 episodes and you got to drag it, that's when you get the problems like Discovery and Picard. So I think we'll be fine. Cryptic Spider-Man, anyone here remember the legendary Reezy? For those who don't know, Reezy is one of the leading experts in the imposter field, the man credited for impersonating various Foley officers. What? Taylor T, good episode. I enjoyed this. Pike seemed pensive. Really reminded me of The Cage. Fleetpaw, There is no Hermes class video. However, the Saladin also has a photon launch with Hermes. Okay, Fleetpaw. The Hermes is in the Saladin class episode because they're basically the same ship, just with some modifications to each other. So I know there's no Hermes class episode. I didn't say there was. I said look up the Saladin episode because we talk about the Hermes in there. Bryce, I also get the impression that Singh was from another augment colony ship escaping after eugenics wars. Starfleet's trust her. Kirk trusted Khan at first, but then they treat augment embryos like a biohazard. Trekyards, the Forest Dome space station felt like something from the late 70s or 80s sci-fi. The Darth Eddy, the first nacelle with a spike on the Bizarre collector since TOS. Great touch, if only the Enterprise had them. Video awesome. How many episodes will be in the first season 1 of Stranger Worlds? I think only 10. Theraxis, we'll see if Stranger Worlds beats the new Trek Curse of Strong first plus second episode, then trash. I have a feeling it will. RJ the Good, I was confused about the Archer. Did it only have a crew of 3? Yes, it's probably a very small ship. You can tell by the strut being hollowed out. It has like a hole in the middle. It's not like a Saladin that actually has like a neck with windows and stuff in there. It's a small ship apparently with only 3 crew. I wish they wouldn't have done that. I wish to hell they wouldn't have done that, but they did it, so we got to deal with it. Jace Bales, I like the Singh character actually, but it doesn't make that much sense. Talonhawk, why even send people for first contact? Draw some brochures from orbit. E.R. Mixon's craziest theories. Strange New Worlds is the Trek, Star Trek is the Trek fans need, but Picard was the Trek fans deserve. Andy Clinton. Anson Mount said that there were sections of the Enterprise on TOS that were not explored. He did. Matt Boardman, how awesome was it to see Uhura talking with that alien and totally made him feel at ease. Shows why she has the chops to later be assigned to the Enterprise permanently. Rick says, did they ever salvage the Archer? Yeah, they would have, for sure. Theraxis, when Uhura touched her ear communicator, I was like, oh man, that's good. Daniel's Hot Topics. I heard there was a big galactic explosion in Star Trek Strange New Worlds Episode 1. What if the galactic explosion was RQ who died at the end of Picard Season 2? Big galactic explosion. There wasn't a big galactic explosion at all. I like the registry of the Archer as NCC 627. Not only is she small, but she's probably old, which could explain the 3 officers could easily take her on such a mission, but it's not a frontline ship. Well, she was old because of the spike, but registry numbers back then didn't indicate that it was the 627th built. The smaller class ships, like the Saladin and the Hermes, they had an NCC and a 3-digit number. And the larger class ships, like the heavy cruisers and stuff, had the 4-digit numbers. Registries weren't the same back then. They're probably going to retcon it, but yeah, that's not what the 3-digit registry number means. Daniel's Hot Topics. Oh my god, I know what the spin-off could be. The creators were talking about when Wesley appeared in the finale. We're not talking about that. Diesel Robot, did you notice that ship to the right of the Enterprise in dry dock? Maybe Miranda class? I did notice it. We'll take a look at it in another episode or another video. Alex 409, this episode was a little too rushed, but pilots tend to be like that sometimes. Matt Boardman, it has been, Thomas, Cryptic Spider-Man. Well, you guys have your chat. When I was a kid, I always thought them spikes on the Pike's Enterprise were weapons, almost like World War II planes shoot through the propeller. Let's see, 223 likes. Can we hit 250 likes? Let's hit the like button if you haven't already. I'd like to get some more super chats, so anything you can super chat would be greatly appreciated. So, Tower Dragon, loves Strange New Worlds so much better than Picard Season 2. Subspace Chatter says there is an attempt to build an Enterprise replica in reality right now. Yes, build the damn ship. I actually did a captain's log on that on my Captain Foley personal channel. So, infamous web series. What was the deal with the paper cutouts? I don't know. Shannon Bailey, if you're a Star Trek fan and you can't enjoy Strange New Worlds, you're clearly a bitter, spiteful person looking to tear everything down, anything positive. This is great, and what the vast majority have been waiting for. Talonhawk, it just makes me feel warm and fuzzy to be around a bunch of other nerds that are also highly triggered by calm instead of con. Live long and prosper. Hey Donnie, how's it going? Happy Cinco de Mayo. Darth Eddie, this species reminded me of the one in the TNG episode First Contact, which was about to break the warp barrier with their own spaceship. Pike's girlfriend, I thought she was his daughter. Really? Wow. The reference to only Jim calling his brother Sam is in What Little Girls Are Made Of when he's testing the memory of the robot Kirk duplicate. Oh, okay. Good to know. Thank you. Let's see. I'm hoping we get a Dot episode next. Hey, Matt. Welcome. But shut up. Linking it to Discovery is a great turnoff. No, I think it was done very well, actually. So, shouldn't Spock and T'Pring touch fingertips? I mean, I'm sure they did. Eric the Bat, I hear the people that have been ahead of the characters. I hear that the people that have seen ahead that the characters to watch are Chapel and Uhura. Mr. Ataz, really a fan of this opening sequence, reminiscent of Voyager and excellent beauty shots of the Enterprise. It is some good hardcore ship porn. Video Awesome says, I give Picard Season 1 an F-. Picard Season 2 Discovery an F-. Strange New Worlds a B-. ISO Racer, is there any chance we can see Samuel cosplay as Samuel Kirk? I don't know. Kelvin Films or Kelvin Films? Captain, those fucking nacelles. Ian Maxon's craziest series. We see the Enterprise enter the atmosphere in TOS, one of the time travel episodes, the one with the Air Force guy. Yes, but it only entered the atmosphere because it is just slingshot around the sun and had damaged impulse engines. Everything was damaged. All the bridge consoles were off. It was damaged. It was in the atmosphere and it was struggling to get back up. It was not designed to be in the atmosphere. I'm gonna get fucking mad at this when this keeps coming up because it was struggling. Even after they repaired the impulse engines, they were trying to get out of the atmosphere. It's not designed for it. It's not designed for it. It's a stress on the structural integrity field. Because if you've seen this fucking thing, look at it. Look at the fucking the struts and the nacelles. They'll sag in an atmosphere. Come on, man. And that episode is Tomorrow Was Yesterday, just so you know. I can hear the nerdrotic guy bitching about the new show like he always does. I just don't get these people. It's like they're never happy with anything, even if they own the track themselves. Matthew DeFrieda says, hey Cap, best episode of Live New Trek for me. Sad considering considering we've now had 6 seasons of it. That Sam Kirk cameo was great. Daneth89 lost a lot of points because prequel series that is a mandatory and not having original design or characters. I give it 2 points. Cleopatra 2525 was better. Daniel's Hot Topics. I read that Discovery Season 5 will start filming in June 2022, and it will connect the old Trek, but they say it won't be time travel. What if in Season 5 the Discovery goes to the OG Trek universe? Kit 10K, do your Will Wheaton impression, and I'll PayPal you another $20. I don't feel like doing Will Wheaton. Hi guys, I'm super excited about today's episode of Picard. You know why? I've been keeping it secret from you guys. And guess what? Guess you'll have to watch the episode to find out. Stay tuned to the end of the Ready Room. We're going to show you an exclusive clip of what's going on. I don't know. Everything's so exciting. Video awesome. Not that I care much, but the wind turbines would be obsolete in Strange New Worlds because of nuclear fusion technology. They hardly would have been removed. The Darth Eddy. One reason we know the TOS isn't designed for atmosphere is when Ben Finley sabotages the ship in court martial, the hull temperature skyrockets to dangerous levels as it enters one. That's true as well. BJ Chiron. Earth was badly prepared for first contact. Zephram Cochrane's warp ship was built from an intercontinental missile in lawless ruins of a nuclear war, yet still a successful first contact with the Vulcans. Weren't there 3 writers on this episode? Can't remember. I only saw 1 listed, but I could have missed some. Shannon Bailey. The good thing about the characters in Strange New World is they can trade light banter between each other, which develops character, unlike in Discovery, where the characters are just in panic mode about a crisis. Yeah, that pretty much sums it up. Joshua Clark, who's been a member for 26 months at the rank of commander. Why does Akiva Goldman ring a bell? Well, thank you for your service, Commander. Why does Akiva... I don't know, he's worked on a bunch of other shit, and his track record's not great. I don't have his filmography in front of me or memorized, but he was the one responsible for the shitty parts of Picard Season 2. Terry Metalis wrote episode 1, 2, and the last episode of Picard Season 2, and Akiva Goldsman was responsible for all the shit in the middle, so... Renatux Lux. The Archer part was when Spock was talking about General Order 1 and said the Vulcans came up with it, and Pike says, never stop reminding me of that. Yes, thank you. Thank you. Yes, that is so Archer. Yes. Good man. Video awesome. I'm scared because the first episodes of Strange New Worlds makes me feel like the second episode of Picard made me feel. I am still being cautiously optimistic about the rest of the season. Well, you do that because I've heard good things and I have no problem with an episodic show. Yes, you'll have maybe 1 or 2 dud episodes, but overall I think it's going to be great. Just finished my 3rd warp bomb and I'm feeling pretty good. Shren the Orc. That's salute. What's wrong with the salute? Is that do the British one, or I don't know. There's different ways to salute depending on. Did you like how the red alert? I like the red alert rails. Yes. I like the light-hearted interactions between the characters. Yes. It's the Puckett sound, actually. Warp bomb sounds like a drink you'd have with super chats. Yes. It should have been called an antimatter bomb instead of a warp bomb. Warp bomb is just stupid. What is it? You warp it through the planet to hit your enemy? Like, it's just stupid. A warp bomb. Should have been called an antimatter bomb, but whatever. Chief Kyle is better than Transporter, with the Transporter than Scotty. Veros Vapor, what did you think about the tricorder and communicator look? Bang on. We already talked about them, but the screens, the displays on those tricorders were spot on perfect. Jonathan, the good thing about this episode preaching was that it was true to form of good Star Trek, and that they are not just taking one side but criticizing everyone equally. DX 2069, sorry for being late. I love the way Picard. We're not talking about Picard right now. We're talking about that tomorrow night. Thraxis. I think the eye thing that was asked was when the Dr. Mbaga addressed Noonien Soong. He did this gesture. Oh, yeah. Well, it's just for her tribe or her colony. They both touched their faces with their finger. Holy shit, I'm way behind in the chat, apparently. Gotta be. I'm going to start skipping a few because I need to catch up to the chat, I think. So if I don't read your comment, I apologize. You might want to put it in again. Or super chat, I do read all the super chats, so, but I'll try to read a number as I go down. Good Tea, nice house, $5. Can we talk about Lieutenant Kyle uploading clothing, tricorders, and universal translators to the transporters? Is this new? As this ever mentioned before. It's not new technically. I mean, when we did our episode on the transporters, you can basically not only deactivate a weapon but remove it from the person in transport. I love the idea of being able to change clothes in the transporter buffer. I think that's awesome. So, but no, I don't think it's been mentioned before. It's a neat little addition. Izzo Racer. I showed this episode to my dad. He's not a huge Trek fan, but he did watch some of the shows on television at the time. He's very critical about pop culture, but he loved the Strange New Worlds pilot. The Forest Dome ship is based on a movie, Silent Running. If the Enterprise can break away from the sun to time travel, it can hover in 1G. So was the dark-haired, short Asian kid who ran the transporter supposed to be the same actor as the tall blonde? No, probably not, no. E.R. Mixon's craziest theories. I really hope Uhura sings in this season. The new actress is also a singer just like Nicole and Michelle. Joshua Clark, $2. Totally excited for Strange New Worlds. Drink, Foley, drink. Dance, monkey, dance. When did the Prime Directive take effect in Pike era? Don't know. Already know that Doomcock is going to rant about the new show. Of course he will. FleetPod, $2. Hashtag Pike likes Spike. Here's a good episode. It's a good hashtag too. Hashtag Pike likes Spike. The Pike comment about Vulcans in First Contact reminded me of Enterprise. Jonathan Erdman, $10. This was Star Trek. Can't wait for further episodes. You could see that other Gagarin maybe ship when leaving space dock. Yes, there was a Gagarin-style ship in the reflection. Intellectually, I know that the corridors of the Strange New World Enterprise aren't the same as that on TOS, but with the good lighting and orange or red carpet conduits and panels and the smaller field, they work. Loved it. Can't wait till they travel forward in time to save the Discovery crew. Just kidding. Kit sent $20 to PayPal. Thanks for the laugh. No problem. The windmills are antiques that Pike has collected. I wouldn't be surprised. He's using them to power his own house. That's his prerogative. FleetPod Swiftback, $20. Oh my God. I'll match Kit 10K with the Will Wheaton impression. That was pretty good. You matched his cadence and mannerisms well. Thank you, Kit. Thank you, FleetPod. Much appreciated. Can Trekyards dip back into the last years of Star Trek 2, Star Trek 3, Star Trek 4, movie era ships and equipment? Yes, absolutely we can. Judge, 1981, $20. Matches FleetPod match kit. Thank you, Judge. Damn, the stream is so far. I know, I'm trying to catch up. Relax. You did a Benny Hill in Super Captain Foley. Okay. An antimatter bomb is a photon grenade. Photon torpedo. Just done watching Stranger Worlds. They nailed it. Woohoo, says Super Crew. Joe Cronin Show. I hate woke SJW crap. This wasn't that. This was Star Trek. And awesome. So happy. I wish the ship didn't look so dark. Here it is. The episode was good. Nurse Chapel is bae. Yes, yes, Monkey Do. Oh, I'm caught up now, pretty much. So, Spock is lucky that his eyeball didn't explode. I know. Luke Jansen. I wish they would get rid of all the bright white strip lighting on the bridge. What a distracting place to work. Every rail. I don't mind that so much. I mean, it shouldn't be there. But it's those lights that are at this level that like flash really bright and then dim again. It's like, what the fuck are you doing? Stop it. It's just, it's not good. Diesel Robot. Really hope we see at least a few more new Federation ships. Matt Deckard. Wish the Watchers stop a nuclear plant, which is after we clean the atmosphere. Joshua Clark says, great show. Pale Jedi says that's not James T. Kirk, it's his father. It's not his father, it's his brother. The Darth Eddy. I wonder how far Bear Creek is supposed to be from the Cochrane launch and first contact sites. Trekyards. There was only 3 crew for a reason, to minimize knowledge of the Discovery mission getting out, which would happen if the large crew was involved. That's why Spock himself said himself that a crew of 3 was strange. That makes sense. I like that. Fleet Paw, we need more than just words. We just need 9 more likes to hit our goal of 250 for the stream. Hit that like button and help us reach it. Yes, hit the like button, guys. We only need 4 more now. My eyes are going blurry. Can't wait for the breakdown episodes of the tech and ships and Stranger Worlds on future episodes. Mr. Captain 93, any issues with Uhura being to the captain's right and not behind him? No, I don't mind. Judge 1981, hit that like button. Yes. Sareka Vulcan, I wish there would be more wide or medium camera shots instead of close-ups on everyone's face. Why, what's wrong with close-ups? You got a problem with close-ups? Matt Deckard, what does a traveler need with a transporter? Yeah, that confused me too. I don't know why. But that's Picard. We're not talking about that tonight, Matt, for the fucking 15th time. We're talking about that tomorrow night. General Grievous, get us to 250 likes and Fleet Pod will do a final Frontier fan dance for us all. Now you get us to 200 and... Oh, we already hit it. Never mind. Robert, or Diesel Robot, I noticed the bridge doesn't have that back corridor anymore. No, they fixed that shit. Thank God. Daniel's Hot Topic. So I'm watching Star Trek Changing Worlds and T'Pring asked Spock to marry him. They was never mentioned in TOS. Also, he was about to take her to warp speed until Pike called. It actually is mentioned in TOS in a mock time. She's like, they're engaged to be wed. Spock finally made it back, but she's been hanging out with Stan. You know, so it's fine. Let's see. ER makes sense craziest theories. Considering the Enterprise long service history, both backwards and forwards, and on-ship time travel episodes like Shattered or Relativity could be loads of fun. I love that close-up cap. Fast dance or slow dance. Donnie Pearson, I myself have rewatched The Strange debut on Paramount Plus this afternoon. Craig Smith, ship looks like it's covered in dark silver sheets of plywood. Maybe when they do the refit for TOS, it'll be rectified. Maybe a shot from Nurse Chapel. I'd love a shot from Nurse Chapel, Aussie. JB says, hey, we're not talking about that. General Grievous. I didn't volunteer to sing. Matt Deckard, if the Enterprise can break away from the sun at time travel, it can hover in 1G, sure, whatever. Diesel Robot, man, Pike really, Spock blocked him. That's good. So it looks like it's really big screen. Dustin D, at least moving officers on the bridge show that even TOS starships were modular stations, even if not adept to the on the fly, but more like pulling and plugging. Yes, the bridge module itself is plug and play. You can pull the whole bridge out and put a new bridge in. That's why there's so many bridges in Star Trek. I'm sure the consoles are probably the same way as well. Andrew S. Yeah, the Borg face was not talking about that. So, Nurse Chapel is hot. Yes, she is. Michael Durbin, they fixed the bridge corridor but gave us a briefing or ready room instead. They did, and that's a good trade-off, though. That hallway back there was just stupid. Not decorated. I'm hoping Chapel gets to help with the clock tower. Subspace Chatter. After watching the first 5 seasons of Strange New Worlds, I can definitely say this is my favorite Trek show. You've watched the first 5 seasons of Strange New Worlds? Holy shit, son. Does it make it to 7 seasons? Luke Jansen, did anyone notice that on top of the classic communicator sound, they layered a 24th century transporter energized sound for some reason? Yeah, they made it unique for sure. Sareka Vulcan, Dr. Mbanga seems like a solid dude. Looking forward to seeing him more. Yes. Luke Jensen, like the sound of the transporter console. Yeah, the transporter sounds were all great. It was a nice mix of TOS and the cage. Dustin D, how did Ryod staying not affect the time? Oh, Rios. We're not talking about that. The changing of bridges in Trek is like changing tires on cars. Daniel's Hot Topics. Remember, kids, before you take a girl to warp speed, don't forget to vulcanize your nacelle. That's a great comment. Subspace Chatter, how come Spock and T'Pring get engaged in this episode, and yet in Amok Time, Spock says their parents arranged it when they were 7? It was probably decided when they were 7 that you guys should probably get married, and that's why Spock was anticipating her to ask, because she needs to be ready. And she queried him. No, I have no problem with that. That's an easy one to explain. The only thing I don't like is when we have to wait for another week, but it's worth it. Andrew S. on topic. Do I have a reason to believe Lon is the official third in command? Since she was EXO in the first episode, what implication would it have for her for the future, TOS and beyond? Don't know much about the character yet, so. Scott Phillips, that was a great start for Strange New Worlds. The theme music was a bit of a risk with lots of modernization, but I think I'm okay with it. Looking forward to seeing a more time-tested episodic show. John McWhat, I thought the actors did a good job in the scene where Pike showed footage of World War III. You could see it bothered the human crew watching, but no sobbing or weeping. Subtlety. Darth Eddie, if you look at the TMP bridge, Spock is directly behind Kirk, but by the time of the Wrath of Khan, his console has been shifted over to the right, and now there is a standout console behind Kirk. Yes. The Doctor has that Phlox optimism. Eric the Bat, looks like they don't have a windshield for a view screen now. The uniforms look great. You maniacs, you blew up Earth. Luke Jansen, I like the theme music in the preview version of the main theme they released last week better than what we got today. I disagree on that one. Donnie Pearson, the reality of Cinco de Mayo is this. It's in commemoration of the Battle of Puebla between Mexico and France. Subspace Chatter, in Amok Time, Spock says it was more than a patrol. They were when they were 7. More than a betrothal. There we go. Monkey Dew 92, that's a great name, was literally playing the day the Earth stood still at the start. Too heavy-handed? No, I don't think so. Not for somebody like Pike. Catch you on the next live stream. I'm off. Yeah, have a good night, Cap, and y'all on the chat. See you later, Next one is tomorrow night at 10. Well, that's the next first reaction one. That next one is actually tomorrow at 4 p.m. The Darth Eddie, I still don't like the view screen being a big window, but at least it's rectangular and not the same jagged edge shape. The TOS running lights are underneath the screen. Explanatory Live. What's cool is that the new show will crush the other Star Trek shows in popularity, and then they'll have to admit that Discovery was a mistake. I can even see them actually selling merch. Yes, they're not going to admit Discovery was a mistake. If it wasn't for Alex Kurtzman and Discovery, we wouldn't have all these new shows. That's what they're going to say. Same bullshit as JJ saved Star Trek in 2009. It was dead. He made it alive again. No, he didn't, because it really wasn't dead. I was still buying Star Trek merch. I'm sure a lot of people were. Star Trek was nowhere near dead. So, JJ didn't save Trek. I hate that argument so much. Diesel Robot. I don't like the new windows they put on the front of the saucer. I prefer how it looked in Season 2 Discovery. Also, I think that they changed those 3 big windows to be spotlights or something. Yes, well, they were never windows. They actually had different functions depending on which blueprint you looked at. So they were actually once the navigational deflectors, because the navigational deflector, this right back here, was never a navigational deflector in TOS. It was a sensor dish. It was a sensor palette essentially for scanning. It wasn't a deflector. It got retconned when the motion picture came out, and that became the deflector dish. And then this all of a sudden became a deflector. This was never a deflector in TOS. So, Kit 10K, with Starship bridges being plug and play, it would cut down on repair time if the bridge was damaged in a battle, where they could just take it out, the damaged one, and replace it, fix it. Yes, you can also design bridges at Utopia Planitia or wherever you need to design a bridge, build the whole goddamn thing, and then have it just inserted into the ship and just have it work. Nathan Gable, felt like old Trek, really enjoyed the Versus Picard Season 2, which was a huge letdown. Joe Grimes, 10 pounds. Last time, a long few videos ago, I was battling custody. I won. Now I look forward to seeing the new show with my daughter. Cheers to you, Joe. That is awesome. Congrats. Subspace Chatter. I've heard the window instead of a view screen could be explained as a holographic tech, both on the interior and exterior. Feepa says a betrothal is a telepathic bonding between two Vulcans. That's how it's more than a betrothal. Luke says, can't believe in 2022 we can't watch legally in 4K here in Canada. Thanks, Crave. You can. It's on Crave. How is that not being able to watch it legally? It's also on CTV Sci-Fi. It played earlier tonight. Played at 9 o'clock, so. General Grievous, Trek was never dead. If you want to see a dead franchise with so much promise, see Stargate. Diesel Robot, interesting. Never heard about the circles being deflectors before. It depends on which source you look at. Some of them say they're probe launchers. It depends on the source, but yes. The general consensus is they were the deflectors for when the ship was in flight. This never was. Here, Mixon's Craziest Series. Do you think they'll remember to promote Pike to Fleet Captain when they introduce Kirk next season? Because in Menagerie Part 1, that's when Kirk said he met him. Sure, I'm sure they'll remember. Subspace Chatter. Yeah, that was the difference with the betrothal here. So what's the difference with the betrothal here? I don't know personally. Please maybe look it up. BJ Tehran. JJ saved both Star Trek and Star Wars. What will he save next? The galaxy trembles. The Darth Eddie. Trek wasn't dead. As late as 2007, they were planning an Earth Romulan War movie idea set during the unseen years of Enterprise, and with new characters and no dead franchise has people planning that. Oh, Luke says not in 4K. Yeah, I don't know if... Didn't know if Crave had it in 4K or not. I see what you said. Okay, sorry. I apologize. Serica Vulcan, did you see the homage to the Valley Forge from Silent Running? The nature domes? No. A few people have mentioned it now, so. Crave tops out at 1080p. Oh, okay. I didn't know that. JT Gamer, Captain, which Star Trek novel should I start with, or novel series? Oh my god, no idea. What are you interested in? Is it TOS, TNG, whatever? I don't know. The Vanguard series is amazing. The Vanguard series, if you like TOS, the Vanguard series is what I would recommend. I have no idea. I can't answer that question. I haven't read a lot of the novels necessarily, so. It was an engagement to be married, a continuation of the betrothal, which is a step before marriage and mating. Ooh. E.R. Mixon's Craziest Theories. Trek wasn't dead, it was just drunk. Subspace Chatter. I always loved the Romulan War script. Fart Muffin. Can you believe Akiva Goldsman wrote and directed this? I'm convinced someone else did it for him. To give him the credit. Yeah. It's hard for me to believe. Ozzy, and the Enterprise shuttle bay door is closed at warp speed, and when it comes, orbit around the planet. Yes, as it should be. Oh my God. All right. We're coming up on that 2 hour mark, guys. Let's see. Can we get another 11 likes? Get up to 275. And another $25 would be an awesome way to end out as far as super chats go. So the registry number lit up, lowered and lowered into the saucer is a bit drawn on me. I kind of like it now. Yeah, I'm still not a fan of that. So I think Quiet is moving around. He is pissing me off. Kit 10K. Many don't know this, but the episode of Voyager where Sulu that was going to be a prelude to a show surrounding the Excelsior, and Sulu even Rand would coke back, but was dropped in favor of Enterprise. Eric the Bat. Wait, did this episode retrospectively make Silent Running a Star Trek prequel to movie? Joe Grimes. My biggest gripe with New Trek wasn't so much the lore or visual problems, but was in the writing and tone. It's a hard thing to nail. I can't see Strange New Worlds, but I get the same sense from clips. The clips don't do it justice. The clips are amazing, but the clips don't do it justice. It's so much better. Explanatory Live. It was a cool idea to have the communicator plug into a monitor like a computer. Yes, 100%. JT Gamer. Captain, what about Enterprise, Romulan War books? Haven't read them. I don't know what to tell you. Diesel Robert. Didn't catch the name of the ship Una was on at the end. Was it King Jr.? Maybe. I think it was the King Jr. I think it was the Martin Luther King Jr. Mixon's craziest theories. Maybe Akiva just is more at home in TOS era and just terrible at writing time travel. I don't know. War God 6. Just finished Strange New Worlds. Can't wait for the DVD Blu-ray release already. Samuel Kirk? Samuel Kirk is Kirk's brother. He dies in Operation Annihilate. Spoilers. Craig Smith. Anyone notice how wacky the shuttle door was in the beginning? It's exactly like the TOS shuttle bay door. Or shuttle door. Sorry, shuttle door. Where it had the panel that went, the top panel popped in and slid back, and then the bottom panel folded down onto the nacelle. It's exactly the same. Exploratory Live. What was the reason Pike beamed into the ship instead of using the shuttle? What are the limits of the transporter in this time period? Can they do site-to-site transport? No. Well, they can. They can. But as they say in TOS, site-to-site transport within a ship is very dangerous. Because all the transport emitters on the ship face out, like up and down towards the planet's surface. There aren't there aren't transporter emitters inside the ship. So transporting, they say it in one episode of TOS, site-to-site beaming aboard the ship is very dangerous. Joshua what? Maybe this episodic format demands writing discipline, which is beneficial. Yes, I would imagine so. Yes. Subspace Chatter. I'm warping out, but it's been a great show, and I hope everyone enjoys the rest of it. Live long and prosper. See you later, Subspace Chatter. Thank you for joining us. Hit that like button before you leave. We need one more like to hit the 275. Still looking for another $25 in super chats. If that's possible from anybody, that'd be awesome. Last super chat slot's still available, so. Nathan Gable, his episodic format is definitely a needed change for New Trek. Pike said, take to your leader. Yes, take me to your leader, but yes. Rigoberto Hernandez. As a Latino, I was proud to finally have a Latino in the big chair that they could have done so much more with his character. A possible spin-off. They need space for the old crew, and the Latino got the axe. Oh, you're talking about Picard. We're not talking about Picard tonight. We'll talk about that tomorrow night at 10 p.m. So I was sad to see Rios go too, but that's another topic. We're not talking about it. Don't start chatting about it. I like the new shuttle. Looks more modern, but TOS. Yes, I love the new shuttle. I think they're amazing. Beachatron SpaceX capsule is splashing down soon. It's in re-entry right now. Any Picard relatives on it? Ooh, maybe she brought back some organisms. AJ the Silver Bullet. Didn't know you vape, Captain. What kind of mod are you rocking? Also, isn't vaping against regs? Nah, not on my ship. It's not. It's just one of the disposables. It's the Apex Envy. This one is pink lemonade. I like pink lemonade. I also like banana ice. Bryce, in Discovery, they redressed the disco briefing room to look like the TOS, the 1701 briefing room, including a triangular monitor. It looked remarkably like Cage briefing room, but it had 3 large round windows. Fleet Pass with back $2. Last super chat slot available, and fight. Joe Grimes beat you with a 20-pound super chat, which covers that $25 that I needed. So thank you so much. There's 20. Keep doing what you're doing, Cap. See you out there. Thank you so much, Joe. Much appreciated. Thank you, Fleet Paw. Thank you, everybody. I really appreciate all you guys. E.R. Mixon's Craziest Theories. Having watched a lot of classic Doctor Who episodes, I gather that once you get past a certain number of episodes in a single story, the writers have a hard time keeping it interesting. Possibly. We'll have to see. On that note, guys, I'm coming up at the 2-hour mark, and my eyesight's starting to get a little fuzzy. My eyes are really tired for some reason. That being said, I gotta get up early tomorrow because we got a lot of little breakdown videos to film, and I also have a lunch planned with Sylvia's mom for Mother's Day that's coming up. So I gotta get filming done before I have to leave for that. So yeah. Oh, nice. I'm a dragon fruit watermelon guy myself. Just bought this carbon fiber Vpoo Drag XN. It's very slick. Wouldn't be out of place on a Starfleet ship. Oh, cool. Kit 10K. Since I can't super chat currently, you gotta get that fixed, man. Super chats are more exciting than PayPals, honestly. Then when it comes to the last super chat slot, all I say is fight, 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 fight. Your video has been fuzzy all night. Has it? It's crystal clear here, but it's fuzzy here, but it's just because the... That's weird. I don't know why it's fuzzy. Anyway, I'm going to call it there, guys. Thank you so much. Have yourselves a good night. Tune in tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for our complete review and breakdown of this episode. And by all... Joe Grimes, £5, 1 for Kit. So Kit gets the last super chat slot. Thanks to Joe Grimes, proxy. Thank you, Joe. Anyway, so yeah, join us tomorrow at 4 p.m. for our live review and breakdown of this episode. Tomorrow night at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I'll be doing a first reaction to Picard season 2 finale. Depending on how long we talk about that, and we could probably talk about Strange New Worlds at the end of that. We'll see. And then our actual breakdown and review of that episode, the finale for season 2 of Picard, will be on Monday at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So lots of times and dates to remember, but yeah. Anyway, so until next time, I'm Captain Foley. That's the Enterprise. And I'll see you guys in the future. Bye, everybody.